2017. If everyone could please either silence or turn off their cell phones and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Denise, any additions or deletions?
One of each. We have a landfill lot line adjustment with Kevin, and we are deleting our airport electrical contract.
Is that lot lines, that what this pertains to?
Okay. And Mr. Bailey said he's going to be joining
He
us
is
here shortly.
en route,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, just the addition, I have talked with Kevin this morning. Kristen at the mayor title wanted to know about us to sign this, and I said it had to go through a board meeting and for her to put 3 signatures on there, similar to last one we done for the commissioners individually to go sign. So got hold of Kevin and asked him if he could come up and present it so we could get it taken care of during this meeting today. So
Sure.
that's how it originated and got here.
Okay.
Phone call this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate you adding it. We weren't sure how long it was gonna take them to do, whether it was gonna be the next meeting, but if it fits in here, that'll be good.
Kevin, it actually does, but if you don't mind, I'm going to just really quickly ask for any public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's our
That was
one-time
me,
item.
Kevin, not you.
Yeah. So we will open this up for public comment this time. Okay, Kevin, you're on, Kevin.
Okay, so this is the final lot line adjustment. Needs signatures on the 2 deeds, and so we can record it through the county. I actually thought this was completed prior, but through this new Thomas Creek landfill permitting process, we realized it needs to be recorded and finalized. So DEQ needs this as part of our permitting for the new landfill, and that's what this is. It's a lot line adjustment that was in progress before, but was on hold, I guess. I didn't realize that until DEQ helped me understand it.
But I think what got, the confusing part was is whenever our planner said administratively this can be done, it's a follow-up and it being officially recorded.
Right.
Fell through the cracks, so this will officially record it, be in compliance with DEQ as we're moving forward with that permit.
Yep.
And for the sake of the audience on the camera, the new landfill, it's county property, and we're shifting where a landfill would be, and just needs a lot line adjustment to address that.
To address that, yeah.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to accept the lot line adjustment that has been done at the Thomas Creek landfill, and for the commissioners to walk over and sign independently as the documents are ready.
Do we know where the documents?
Kristen said it would just be shortly. She didn't say exactly when.
Today or tomorrow?
Today, I think.
I almost think you'd be able to get today.
Okay. Second motion.
okay, the motion's been made and seconded to accept the lot line adjustment documents for the Thomas Creek landfill as presented. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's a good thing.
It is.
Thank you guys for
Thank
doing
you.
that.
Oh, thanks for fitting it in. We weren't sure when it was gonna be done, so, but this worked out real good, thank you.
Yeah,
Well, just hit a meeting day whenever I received the call, and I said, will you make it happen if Kevin
Yep.
make it happen?
so Kevin, since you're here, don't want to put you on the spot, but you are here and you and Christie and the crew and everybody's been super swamped with the snow and everything. Any department update you want to give us?
I do actually have, not snow related, but for our future planning of this construction season. As you all know, we're entered into Dog Lake Road project, and I have some general, right now, scheduling dates that I wanted to bring to you guys so that you can help me and the road department with public relations and advertising of works on traffic control and some of the minor delays that will take place with this job, because it is a pretty big reconstruction project, so. We hope to start April 10th, that's when we're gonna start milling and grinding the asphalt, current asphalt, some of it off. We've, in coordination with the engineer, laid this out into a 3-phase project, which up front, we're planning that it takes 3 construction seasons to finalize. We hope that once we get entered into this first construction season, things will move along. We will have aggregate bids coming out that give us option to ask for more once we get entered, to see if we can move ahead and get maybe another half mile or 3/4 of a mile done. Those will all be coming out here shortly. Milling contract and asphalt as well. So it'll start April 10th, and it mostly will consume the road department's time until the end of July at this point. When you start counting number of days and quantities, it's a good amount of material that we're gonna remove and then put back new construction, so. I'll have a more itemized calendar built once I get closer and have the exact quantities of what we're installing, what we're tearing out, and where we're going with all of this material. But just in general up front, so you know when we're starting, and again, to ask with the public side of things.
Well, I think the public side is really important, the communication and the coordination. Not to get too deep into this today, but the timeframe you're talking about, and I understood what you said, that if it could be moved along a little faster, that would happen, but what is the cause, you might say, that has expanded it to 3 field seasons?
Just the total amount of material that needs to be moved. We're upwards of 80,000 plus or minus cubic yards of material just for the base aggregate, not to include the asphalt on top. And in order for the county forces to do this and the man hours that are available, we were up against the paving deadlines at the end of the construction season. So to decide that we wanted to get, I guess, really push for this job right up the front and be committed, when we coordinated with the feds, they said that it wasn't too much of a concern to them how long this project took. And when they told us that, we thought we would schedule for a more steady work schedule, and if we can get ahead, we have that availability. I thought that was more conservative on our part than to get up against a deadline for paving at the end of the season.
Okay. Well, we visit a little bit more maybe later.
I would like to visit with you sometime one-on-one about it after the
Yep,
call the other day. I know you've just been busy.
yep. Well, in between snowflakes, we're trying to make plans for this construction season, so.
Yep. So anything else you wanted to add to your department? Christie's raising her hand behind you.
Oh, just that we'll probably ask Tilly if they can do an article about the job prior to.
Yeah,
so it's
as we get closer, I'll get with Mr. Hall and we can.
We can add that to the website as well. Yes, like notification.
Yeah, that'll be the time of year people will want to be utilizing that road, so.
Yep.
So you're looking at going out for bid on rock crushing right away?
It'll be coming out here,
I don't know that the board knows that. I know that because it said through the conference call.
yeah.
Last time we ran into a couple issues that we want to be sure to be in whenever you're doing federal bids and everything for federal dollars,
Yeah,
make sure Jeremy, we don't end up the same as was last time. I don't know if there's anything that has to be approved by the board before you go out for those quotes, but I think I heard you're gonna go out for, not quotes, but for bids by the end of January.
mhm.
And so if there's any action the board has to take to be in compliance, we might be in a position where we have to have a special meeting for that to find out,
Okay.
so that we don't end up in that time crunch once again.
The time crunch should, getting it out early like this should help alleviate some of that, because if contractors or vendors looking at this have too many questions, or something has to change where we have to do it again, now we have time allowed where Hard Mountain.
The legal counsel has stepped in right in the middle of, we're talking rock crushing and.
Sure, I can answer all your
And
questions.
federal compliance, and last time we ran into, there's a certain amount of days once you award the bid, that you have to wait before they can even start crushing and different things. Just having a discussion with Kevin, make sure where you're gonna start work in April, if you're gonna need crushed rock by then, it's January, that we hit all those compliance, for the federal guidelines. Last time we ran right up against it.
And last time, Brad, didn't we send that contract to Mr. Bailey? Yeah, okay.
Well, what we had is we went out the second time, our time frame, because the first time there was none that we were wanting to accept. And the second time, it was right against the time frame. So Mr. Bailey, he
Well-
definitely reviews all of them.
And when we talk about the end of January, we do have a work session on the 31st. If, you know, that's the time frame we're looking at, so.
That's pretty close to the end of.
Real close.
We can have an update for you at that time.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Okay, our next agenda item, public health contract amendment ratification 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Just for clarification on that, 7, 8, and 9, yes, but we do have an additional amendment 10
Number
that
10.
has not been signed, that will be approved through normal process. It isn't ratified, because it's not signed yet.
Okay,
She just received it, so.
this is the one we were talking about yesterday. The additional. And that's the $1,165 for the WIC program funding.
Correct.
Okay.
So we'll need to ratify these individually, correct, Mr. Chairman? Bids or amendments similar to mental health?
Yes.
Okay, so we have, I'll make a motion to ratify and accept amendment number 7 to the Oregon Health Authority and a governmental agreement for the financing of public health services as presented.
It's been moved and seconded to ratify the amendment to the Oregon Health Authority intergovernmental agreement for the financing of public health services, amendment number 7. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
We should have said these have all been reviewed by legal counsel also.
Yes, they have.
I'll make a motion to accept, or ratify and accept the 8th Amendment to the Oregon Health Authority 2015-17 intergovernmental agreement for financing of public health services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the amendment, the 8th Amendment to the Oregon Health Authority 2015-17 intergovernmental agreement for the financing of public health services. Any other discussion?
And that's in the amount of $35,000 to 24 for emergency preparedness.
And just for a little clarification for the audience, the reason why these are being ratified is we've had a change in directors at Public Health. Wasn't aware that the amendments come before the board. does have signing authority, but didn't realize amendments had to be approved, contractual agreements with the board. So that's the reason for the applications.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I'll make a motion to ratify and accept the Ninth Amendment to the Oregon Health Authority 2015-17 intergovernmental agreement for the financing of public health services as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the ratification of the Ninth Amendment to the Oregon Health Authority 2015-17 intergovernmental agreement for the financing of public health services, and I believe that's in the amount of $5,000.
Yes, it is.
Any other discussion?
For family planning.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And I do not have the 10th Amendment in front of me. Our not amendment, our amendment, but this one has not, doesn't need ratification, it just needs approval. I'll make a motion to accept the 10th Amendment to Oregon Health Authority 2015-17 intergovernmental agreement for the financing of public health services. Looks like the award amount is $9,150.
There must be something for that seconded. I thought she said 1,000.
Okay, did I read the wrong number?
I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
So I would correct it to the
Well-
correct number.
Just hang on, that, I just wrote that number down, and what is down here is 1,665, but that's the quarterly caseload. Not making a lot of sense. Let's let Mr. Bailey take it out, produce.
So I read the award amount, I don't have to, the amendment amount. So my motion could reflect the appropriate dollar amount of additional revenue.
For the WIC program.
That's what we.
He's a lawyer, he's not an accountant. We might have just gave it to Ann.
There should be, well, if it's affecting dollars, there should be a page in there that shows each program element, and there's an adjustment column that would say the nature of the award adjustment. Some of these don't have dollar amendments
Some of
though.
them.
Some of them.
The increase looks to be $1,665. Previous award, and this is the increase as
Okay.
a result of the financial assistance
Where
award.
is
In
the
the
16?
amount of $1,665.
Okay, I amend my motion to reflect the correct number.
That should be in the second column. I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve amendment number 10 for the years 2015 through 17 in the amount of $1,665 for the WIC program, amendment number 10. Any other discussion?
That's the increase, that's a quarterly caseload increase of 1665.
Yeah.
So that's quarterly, so it ends up being more.
Okay,
Times 4.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Transit protest procedure policy and comment form, Denise.
So, as I reported yesterday, during our recent review, we had really good findings, we only had one high priority, and this policy for proper procedures is going to meet that. This puts us in compliance with, Federal Transit and with ODOT. We also have a form that we will have available to the public on all of our buses and vans, and through Ronnie's volunteer driver program for them to submit their comments to us.
Pertains to the complaint procedure.
Correct.
Correct.
Mr. Bailey, will you review this?
Yes.
Yeah.
There were just a couple of small changes, I think, for clarity's sake.
Okay.
So we need to, okay, I was reading something. Okay, so we need to adopt this as to be in compliance.
Correct.
So I will move to adopt the form for transit protest procedures as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the new transit protest procedure policy and comment form as presented. Any other discussion?
Yeah, as we went through the audit and everything, and for our audit to come out to where the, and I don't know if they technically, when we sat through it, they didn't really call it an audit, even though it was. To only have this, as far as compliance, compared to where we've been in the transit world and the amount of dollars we now receive, this is monumental to only have one little thing. So thank you, Denise, for all your work on that.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next item, budget officer appointment 2017-18 and budget calendar. And you presented yesterday, maybe.
I have no new information, have a call in to Ms. Kiono as far as her availability of serving on our budget committee again. I haven't heard back from her yet. So, and no new dates. So far, this calendar seems to work for people. We did not talk about budget officer yesterday, so if you want some nominations, I'll be happy to give you names.
I think we can handle that one.
Oh, darn it.
I would move to appoint Ann Carmine as our budget officer for this next budget year.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded to appoint Ann Crumrine as our budget officer for budget year 2018.
I'll be interested in knowing your recommendations.
Any other discussion?
Aye.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
You did quite a good job there, Ann, thank you.
So do we need a motion on accepting the budget calendar as presented?
Why not?
I think we usually do.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't vary from what we usually do.
See, this is the person you appointed.
There will sometimes be changes, but I think especially where it has the final dates on it. I'll move to approve the fiscal year 17-18 budget calendar as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the fiscal 17-18 budget calendar as presented. The other discussion?
I come on a tax planning to TV.
Which they,
All of the above.
Yeah.
Me too, actually.
So, Ann, my only comment would be, as you alluded with Commissioner Winters a minute ago, really appreciate you working with everybody and getting dates that work for everyone. It's pretty tough, especially in the spring, early summer, so thank you.
And I echo that. Thank you, Ann. I know that you have really worked to accommodate some of my issues on dates this year, so thank you very much. It makes it more that those dates work.
They didn't work for me, but I'll make them work since it worked for you.
Well, I appreciate
That
it.
didn't work for me, but I got two colleagues who here this morning.
So, we need to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
I'll see you to eat.
Yes.
So, we're down to legal updates
We
for
have
open session.
none for open session, we have 2 for executive session.
can I give a quick department update?
Oh, yes.
Because yesterday was
You bet.
constant meeting day.
Yep.
I actually sat in my office for less than 10 minutes yesterday. I met with, following our meeting yesterday, I met with IT staff. Mr. Brown is in town working on a couple of our projects. Road department is held up again because we were waiting for fire serv to get their scope to the mountain to do the new internet. Doesn't do us much good to put a new server and whatnot in until internet is in. But we went over all of our projects for this year, see where we're at, kind of get a schedule for those. We've also determined that the first or second week in March, we will meet with our department heads for our budget discussions with each department. So that was a good conversation. And then I also attended the senior center board meeting last night. They've got some empty slots, so they have asked me to sit in. So I want to, after the meeting, sit down with each of you and see what your take is on that. I want to make sure there's no conflict of interest since they are one of our transit providers. I want to make sure there's no issues with that.
I would ask for you to be sure and check with legal counsel on potential conflict of interest there, because that is a decision-making board over there. So,
It impacts us, so.
Yeah, and hand in glove with that are the distributors of those funds. They visited with about it.
With ODA.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know, because I know I was missing that yesterday.
Yes.
well, and having conflict of interest isn't always a bad thing. You just have to declare it, as long as it's acceptable for you to sit on the board that's making decisions.
You gonna sit on the board?
They haven't asked me if I would, so I'll make sure that's kosher with you gentlemen and with the full council.
Yeah, so we can have those discussions. And, Denise, go back to the discussion on the timeframe you're gonna set down with department heads on IT needs.
It's the second week in March.
Okay.
Not on my calendar with me for the first time.
Okay,
That Tuesday, Wednesday.
okay. Thanks. Anything else?
And I will meet with SAR tomorrow, because we need to kind of get a game plan on if something happens to the emergency service building, that next headquarters is our SAR location. So we have got to get some things in place.
Sure.
Mr. Brown is gonna be helping me, and Daniel, maybe determine some grant opportunities for what we can do out there, but they have no networking, they have very limited internet at this point in time. They don't even have Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna sit down with Daniel, the sheriff, and my IT team. So I'll be in meetings again tomorrow.
Yeah. So go back to fire serv. When are they thinking they're gonna get their work done?
We're hoping this week, but
Okay.
we've got storms coming in, so
They've been, that were giving us the last snowstorm that was put in the hand schedule.
we put them very behind, so our project keeps getting pushed out.
Mr. Chair, I did have just a question on the legal side. Jim's Kevin's here and Jim's here. I forwarded you, both you guys, on the independent power producers, EDP, on the county right of ways. Whenever you're able to get to work on that, find out what our process will be. I appreciate that. I don't think you can speak to it now. Kevin's been inundated with a little bit of snow and water here for a while, but I forwarded you the ORSs and other things from other counties.
Yeah, it's actually still called up on my computer, I just haven't been able to turn my attention to it.
All right, thank you.
Darwin, I didn't want to miss you if you had anything department-wise for open session.
I know we had a wonderful training last night with the planning commission. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody from the public attend other than Jimmy Hall with the examiner. But the LCD did do a video, Skype and message presentation with the PowerPoint. There are copies available if anyone would like it as a follow-up. But it was well attended. We only had one of our planning commissions had to be at another meeting, but everyone was there. So
Did you happen to mention to the folks from Dan that Commissioner Shannon had driven that road the day before?
No, I didn't.
Legal counsel Jim Bailey was driving it today, and They're whips.
I failed to mention that part.
Okay,
I'll try to bring it up next time I
okay,
speak.
thank you. Well, maybe, but what are we gonna go into executive session under, Mr. Bailey?
H, litigation or potential litigation.
If the board doesn't mind, maybe we'll take just a quick recess for about 5 minutes. Come back into session, come back into executive session at 10:35. We'll go out of the regular session at 10:30. Take a short break.
I'm good with that.